Okay, so I got a guy, he's making a runway. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Okay? So, he got the tractor, he's moving the dirt around and trying to get the dirt all packed down. Nice packed down, right? Get it packed down, nice and smooth. Making a runway, the plane gonna fly in, right? So a little blackbird, he comes down, gets a little piece of the bread, he lands on the post, right? He don't have all the light, just half the story. So then this other little blackbird come along and it's like, right? And they only have part of the story. So then they stop negotiating, and then the engineering gets all messed up, and it says, man, anybody get a hold of the Navy, man? I need one of them translators. Some Cherokee people go and talk to all the Indians, and all the Indians start talking to all the other Indians. And like, man, then they start talking to the other engineers, and then we really start working together. And it says, man, now we got a guy out here, right? And he's already been to deer school, right? You see the deer on the side of his tractor, it says deer with an E on the end of it. It's like deer educated, okay? Deer educated, okay? He's out here in a tractor. He's digging the dirt up. He's moving the dirt around. And he needs to know how to build this thing, you know what I'm saying? But he don't have to come out and build it twice. And he for sure, man, he's like, can you make sure my equipment doesn't get messed up while I'm trying to do this? I'm trying to help here, okay? So he's got a deer school, right? So it's like, diplomatic education, enlightenment, restoring, education. So here we go. Let's restore some education right now. The guy is digging up the dirt, okay? And now I just had a telepathic conversation with him. He's like an alien or an angel. I don't know which, man. Doesn't matter. He's American, AAA service. So I have a conversation with him. We have a little diplomatic discussion. He's like, man, that's a pretty good idea. I said, yeah. And I says, man, that's a pretty good idea. He goes, well, how are you going to help me? I said, this time I'm going to help you, man, okay? He's like, well, what those engineers do for me? He says, well, I like those engineers because look what those engineers do for me. I got this cool John Deere tractor, man. It don't even have the John on it, man. It's just Deere school, man. Why? Because, Deere educated people. Now we get the E to the third power, and we start to put it in a fifth dimensional space. And what we're doing is we're dragging this dirt nice and smooth, okay? We want to pack it down and make sure it's a good structure so when the wind blows through here, it doesn't kick all the dirt up in the air. And the blackbird lands in a field over there, and he goes, see the blackbird down? Remember that movie Blackbird Down? The helicopter fell? Man, nobody shot that helicopter down. But when it landed, a lot of people came and says, we got to see what they got. We got to see what they got. And that was the problem, okay? And here's the other problem, man. We're digging all this dirt up. We're, trying to smooth out and make a good deal, good diplomacy, make a better airport so we could deliver better supplies in a timely fashion. But we got to have a protected landing zone. Now, a protected landing zone is done in one and two ways, okay? And they get the Trinity services. That's the AAA. This is how you get AAA services, okay? Now I'm going to show you an example of AAA services, all right? Hot air, it's easy for stuff to go in to hot air, okay? Easy. I'm going to show you about this in a minute, okay? Now that gets the, when the hot air is blowing and you get a speed on hot air, it's like going through the atmosphere, man. It's super, super fast, man. You get a little space debris up there, man. It put a hole in the side of something real quick. So we can't have junk floating around in space because everybody trying to do the same thing and this and that. So that's why we said we had diplomatic deals. That way we can land people safely. Now later today I'm going to tell you about this Cessna that's landing there, okay? I'll give you some structure about this and that. Okay, so here we go. He's making a landing strip, but most ways people think about a one-way landing strip, okay? One-way landing strip. Now this guy, it's not his fault, man. He's just doing his told. He says, hey man, get out there and I need you to make a landing strip. I don't care. Make sure it's straight so that plane can land, because that's true for a plane. Okay? And then they goes, well, we need it to be shorter, so we're gonna make an aircraft carrier. We need a practice zone. So I want you to get out there, I want you to dig in that dirt, and I want you to pound it down and make sure it's nice and smooth and a sturdy surface for people to walk or land on, and that's what we gotta do. And the guy says, I don't care, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna dig this thing, but can you make sure I get a protection for my equipment, and then I come up and I put on put on the, drive up the ramp, I put it on the trailer, and I got all this wind, it's blowing around, blowing this dirt, and it's going up all in my equipment, it's getting in my grill, it's getting my air intake, man, I got dust in my air filters and everything else, what am I gonna do? He says, well, that's what the problem with the helicopters are. He goes, oh, well, can you help me understand that? I says, not a problem, buddy. We're having a telepathic conversation right now. He says, man, can you look at that trailer over there? I'll show you what I came up with. I was like, okay, cool, I'll see what you got and we'll see what we could do. He says, okay, look at this. Now, I heard we had the ramps, man. Remember we had the ramps? You know, I had this custom made, man. You know, we had the ramps because, you know, we drive up, man, and it get all muddy. There's more dirt, more dirt, more dirt. And I'm like, man, there's so much dirt, man. He's like, well, I found out that if I park my trailer a certain way with the wind blowing this way, I could drive my tractor up those ramps. And then the air will blow through and get sucked under the trailer because if it's heat, man, and it's hot and the heat's creeping underneath, you know, maybe the air, and I'll test it out, you know, maybe the air will blow the dirt off the tractor tires as it's, you know, going across the ramp, right? Now we made it a little rigid, you know, that's not tires, that's tractor tires, like tank tires, you know.